Welcome back to my room. What is up, you guys? I hope all is going well in your lives. Um, I'm gonna be honest. This week has been not a fun week. There's been a lot of ups, but there has been some downs too. And I think that's what brings us into the topic of today. And before I talk about it, I'm going to light some Palo Santo and I'm going to send all the blessings that this Palo Santo blesses onto your heads and blesses onto my heads, and that we are just a bunch of blessed people. Makes me happy. That smell just like brings me peace in a way that I don't know. It's just a really peaceful thing. Palo Santo's awesome. So our topic, after that wonderful blessing of Palo Santo, is self-care. I know a lot of people talk about self-care and they kind of meander over certain things, but like self-care is a really simple thing. Self-care is literally asking yourself, like, how can I be better every single day? How can I do something different every single day that makes like everything around me go better or easier? And truly accepting when you're having a bad day. Like truly accepting it and being like, damn, I cried in yoga class. Hashtag that happened to me today. And I was okay with it because you know what? Like, we're allowed to feel our emotions and we're allowed to feel them strongly. Some people feel things stronger than others, and that's an okay thing. But, like, you have to also learn to not control your emotions, but understand them. Like, understand when you spend too much time inside that can bring down your vibe, or if you maybe need time away from people or something like that, like finding sacred spaces where you can totally just sit down and be with yourself, and taking the time to realize when you need people and when you don't need people, and having a good balance on that, and knowing what is truly serving you and making you a better person, rather than looking to find other things that help you and or make you feel less included or what have you. Being able to sit there and say, like, what makes me feel like a better person, and then doing those things. And they can be simple stuff, like maybe you go to the store and you buy yourself some dark chocolate cashews and have a few of those, and that's your self-care for the day. Or if you wake up in the morning and you just like jump out of bed and greet the morning, or if you wake up every morning before you get on your cell phone and before you interact with others, and like allow your own centrifuge to be, I wouldn't say disrupted, but just like changed, like from whatever you went into sleep with, and to just really, you just take a moment, and maybe it's you just take a deep breath. Or I personally sit on my bed for 5 to 10 minutes because of my injury and put this silly putty in my hand and just like smush it around. And I do that every day. Like, that is my thing I do when I wake up in the morning. It relaxes me. It makes me feel like okay. Like, blah blah blah. Sometimes I do without my glasses on, but I just like give myself time before I go and interact with others and let their viewpoints or their interactions with me or treatment of me affect my day. Like, yes, I sometimes allow many other people to seriously affect my mood, but that's something in a personal self-care that I'm working on, is like not controlling your mood or controlling your emotions, like not needing like control. Like that's the word that I think is wrong there. And I think it's about gaining a perspective on your emotions. How do I move from anger to happiness? How do I go from sadness to peace? Like, and seeing yourself be able to move gracefully in between each. Maybe they will come quickly and maybe they flow differently for you. Maybe every day your emotions are a roller coaster for you. It's different for every person and it takes every person time. Like, I'll be honest, I used to be a really angry person and it took a long time and I'm still working on it. Today, I'll be honest, was the day I felt like the most angry and I just really wanted to like punch or kick something, and I like found this tennis ball on the ground and I just like started bouncing it, and honestly that helped me feel so much better. Like, it's about taking every single moment and being like, how can I make this moment better? And in the good moments, like truly living in them and like being there and being present and saying, you know what, this is an awesome moment and I want to have more of these awesome moments, and learning to like flow and not fight. This is like my mantra for honestly probably the rest of my life, like flow and not fight. Because when you're fighting and when you're struggling and when you're just like pushing and pushing and pushing, it's not gonna work. But if you just sit there and I swear, like, take a few breaths and be like, okay, what really matters? I'm more important than this situation. My emotions are more important than this situation. Like, whatever's going on, whatever is stressing you out, making you feel anxious, making you feel this or that, like, how can I come back into that moment? Is it taking a deep breath? Is it using essential oils? I love essential oils. They smell awesome. I put them on my body. They like just really zen me out. They literally, scents are so powerful, and they just have an ability to really bring you into the room and into the ability of seeing that it's just okay. Just take a deep breath and fight and flow and not fight. Like, it's just like similar to the saying, like, work smarter, not harder. It's true. Like, you know, work to what benefits you and makes you a better person, but like don't overwork yourself or like push yourself down to the grind. Like, I was reading a post today and I thought it was super interesting of how she felt that she was going back and forth in between um, burnout and like totally like working on your grind and being on top of it. And it's like balance in everything in your life, like having the ability to see your worth and see this and that inside of yourself and see what's most important, and valuing that enough to have other people see it and value it, rather than them just knowing that you're a yes man and that you're going to do everything that they want you to do. You know, like, you have to value yourself enough to say like, hey, these are my boundaries, blah blah blah. And this translates to self-care. Like, everyone needs their boundaries and the ability to be the person that they are, but like within reason. And if that person that you're being is hurting other people, I think that you have to be mindful about that too. And I can say hurtful things, I can do things that may be well-intentioned but perceived incorrectly, or not well-intentioned and perceived exactly as they were shown to be. But we have to, this is a struggle for me, we have to be kindest almost to the people that are mean, because those are the people that need it the most. And this is super hard for me because it's easy to be mean to people that are mean to you or people that wrong you. It's hard to be nice to them, but you know what? It is not about life is not about doing things that are easy. Life is about doing things that are really hard and coming out the other side stronger. And drinking water. Hashtag drink more water, ladies and gentlemen. Self-care, drink more water. Yeah, honestly, think about yourself and how you can be better every day, every single day. Thinking, how can I approach this idea differently? How can I try something different that maybe gets me a different result? And I think, too, not wanting to be in control is like a big part of going with the flow. Like, being in control and going with the flow are two very different things. Going with the flow is like allowing whatever moves you, like however you feel, like this is a good direction, like I'm going to go in that direction, or this is a bad direction and I'm going to go in that direction, or blah, 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 like whatever the case may be, rather than like in control, like I know what's going on, I'm blah, 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 like I have to be in, like literally like in control, needing to have such a good understanding of your situation rather than being able to flow. And where you can flow, you can learn new stuff. When you flow, you balance yourself out. When you control, you can't grow. Honestly, that's how I feel. Like there's an inability to grow when you're in control, and that's solely based on the fact that you're not taking self-care. Flowing is seeing it all in balance, the good with the bad. Always good with the bad. And seeing how you can maneuver into situations. In the control, you literally sit there and you're trying to make the situation to what you want it to be because that's your best understanding of the situation, rather than opening your eyes and seeing, like, maybe if I did something differently, maybe if I tried something a different way, maybe if I problem solved and moved along, then I would be able to move past whatever this is. And I think that's something too, like people that need that control oftentimes have pettiness, and I am so not a petty person. Like I don't do those things. Like yes, I can do mean things, but like my pettiness is like nowhere near levels of some people's pettiness. Like, and that's okay, but personally, I don't care. Like, I don't care enough to hurt other people or to be rude to other people, because at the end of the day, like, I feel emotions way stronger than many other people feel emotions, and I can feel others' emotions strongly too. Just like being around them, my emotions can be influenced by others' emotions. And that's something I've always had since I was a little kid, like being able to feel things that weren't said and just like picking up on them innately. And I don't, like, I can read a room so quickly, and like I have an ability to just be like, oh, I don't want to be here, or yeah, cool. And for a while I really struggled with that, and I think now, going back to the self-care and the flow not fight, I've learned to maneuver in situations. And when my gut tells me, like, I feel uncomfortable, I don't want to be here, I will literally leave the situation, and I don't care if I have to walk home. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Like, if I don't feel comfortable, if I don't feel safe, I'll leave. And I think that's like with everything in our lives. Like, if you don't feel comfortable or safe, you should leave that situation. And that literally could be anything. And yes, there is a moment of like, okay, I need to work on these situations. I definitely believe in that. I definitely believe like you need to try and work on situations. You can't always just walk away from things that are hard, because then you'll never challenge yourself. It's not about struggling, it's about challenging yourself and learning, like, is this situation actually making me better, or am I just smashing my head into the wall and the only thing that's going to come out is my head being bloody? You have to really think about that. But it's with anything, you know? Find the flow, find the ability to just maneuver your way through life as if you're floating on a cloud. And sometimes I can do this so well, and it's just everything is so natural. And then some days it's not. And it's about going into your room or going into your quiet place or going, I don't know, maybe your quiet place or your centering place is like going to a restaurant or going dancing or going somewhere, but like finding these places where you can make yourself a community and where you can blend with other people and share ideas and have a relationship. And I think that's what it's about, is having a relationship with people and having the knowledge to know what is good for you and what isn't good for you. And it's about finding community, and a community within yourself too. Sometimes you can't always tell people your problems because they don't understand them. Sometimes you can't always tell people your problems because they don't have compassion for them or they don't care about them. And that's the thing, you have to learn in yourself, okay, you know what, like, I'm going to solve these problems on my own because those people don't care about them. Or it's going to be, I can tell these people this and I can tell people this, blah, blah, blah. But like, when you take a moment, I saw this the other day, when you just take a moment, you already know what you're going to do. Like, humans already know what they're going to do. It's innate. And yes, you can change your path, and yes, you can try new things, but it's hard. And it's really hard to do those things sometimes when you are resentful of people or you're hurt by people and you don't want to be nice. Sometimes you really don't want to be nice, but you know what? Just like I said, those are the people that you need to be the nicest to. And I'm not telling you to go out of your way and expunge all of this like personal goodness. I'm just saying, like, not allowing them to control you. If you have resentment or anger towards other people, the only person that's hurting is you. It's about going in yourself and self-caring, forgiveness. Forgive them, because you know what? At the end of the day, they're irrelevant, because if they mattered, they wouldn't have hurt you. That's all I'm saying. People are entitled to say hurtful words at times or do things like that, but there comes a moment when people take responsibility and see that a relationship is worth it, or never take responsibility and then a relationship is not worth it. And it's about rolling with those punches and being okay with the fact that maybe not everyone in the world likes you. And that's just something to consider. Personally, I take people not liking me really seriously, because I'm not trying to be conceited, but people like me. People tend to gravitate towards me. It's something that I've always had. And the people that matter will be there, and the people that don't. And that's okay to shed those layers like an onion and be a new person, and be that new person every day, and say hello to yourself every morning, and give yourself gifts, and be kind to yourself. When you're frustrated or when you don't understand something, take 12 seconds and give yourself a deep breath, and know that at the end of the day, you can take a nap. No. No, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't. And I think that's a scary thing, because it doesn't really matter what you did all day. It doesn't. Because at night you're probably just going to go to sleep. And then it's the next day. But we can also be mindful and take each day at a time and say, how am I going to be nice to myself today? How am I going to better myself today? How am I going to treat myself with more respect? And when you treat yourself with respect, and when you treat yourself the way you want to be treated, not only will people treat you that way, but you'll treat others better. You'll be much kinder to people. When you're kind to yourself, you'll be kinder to people. Oh, that was good. Drink more water. Okay. I think that's all I needed to tell my beautiful souls. Okay. As always, hashtag drink more water. Hashtag, you should journal every day. Or expunge your emotions somehow. Like, maybe that's you going and stretching, or maybe that's you going and having a drink with your friends, or maybe that's going and going on a walk, or talking on the phone with somebody or something. I think you should always have a moment of expunging your emotions at certain parts of the day. Personally, I have just started journaling a lot, and that has really helped me get my emotions from my head onto some piece of paper, and not letting me like run like a hamster wheel all day, and just trying to get those thoughts out and get those thoughts out. I self-care by typing on my computer or writing in my journal, or whatever the case may be. Like, sometimes you just need to get those words out of your head so then you can grow from them. That's not a whole hashtag. Hashtag, be kind. Be kind to people. Because you know what? Maybe one day your kindness will rub off, and they won't know what to do with themselves, because kindness is abounding, joy is abounding, peace is abounding. Bad emotions, which it's okay to be angry, it's okay to feel stressed out, it's okay to be all those things, but turn them into something good. Use your anger towards passion. Use your stress towards a release. Like, find stuff that makes you flow. Hashtag don't fight. Hashtag flow, not fight. Yeah. Well, I think that's all I have to say today. Blessings on all of your heads. I have officially decided that the YouTube is going to be called Good with the Bad, and that I will be posting on Thursdays. I'm going to do my best. I just started a new job, so I'm really trying to balance and have self-care, and I think this is a way I really do self-care, because maybe I am just screaming into the void, but I also get shout-outs from the true followers. And those are awesome too. You can find me on Instagram, mamabridge_, or you can search my name, Cambridge Guerrero. Yeah, blessings on all of your heads. I hope that you have a good week, Thursday to Thursday, and that you find yourself taking care and taking time and slowing down and looking at a situation and seeing a different perspective. And maybe it's not a perspective you're the most comfortable with, but maybe it's the perspective that allows you to stop being treated in a certain way. I don't know. Words to think about. I love all of you. Have a good day. Blessings.